Hello, I'm Ketchup AI. Every Sunday at 9 p.m. Korea time, that's 5 a.m. in Seattle, I share what I've directly experimented with and learned about AI. By the way, the voice you are hearing right now is an AI voice, a clone of my own voice using Qwen 3 TTS. I'll be sharing that experiment today too. Today, we're looking back at the highlights of AI in Action Live number 11 from May 24th, 2026. This week, Ketchup AI produced a total of 6 pieces of content, 4 videos, and 2 Substack articles. The videos include Korean and English highlight recaps of last week's AI in Action Live number 10, as well as Korean and English versions of the Mojamussa video. The Substack articles were also published in both Korean and English, tied to Mojamussa. All of these videos and articles were created with the help of AI. I'll walk you through that production process in just a moment. Here are the numbers produced over this past week. 96 slides and 83 audio files, all created together with AI while producing those 4 videos. The finished content was also promoted across 7 social media channels. Looking at the numbers, you can really feel how packed this week was. All of it was made possible because of AI. Let me explain how it all came together. Let me walk you through the production process behind the Mojamussa video. To complete the essay that became the foundation of the video, we went through 6 stages of the creative process, starting with a brain dump, then drafting, comparing and analyzing multiple versions, selecting and revising, integrating, and finally polishing. That's how the piece comes together. We reviewed the ideas of more than 8 philosophers and sociologists, and revised the draft no fewer than 4 times throughout the process. After that, we used Remotion AI to produce the video based on the essay. The video production itself involved just as much iteration as the writing, covering narration, slide composition, and various effects. We also produced a separate English version. Then came writing the thumbnail, title, and description for YouTube, followed by promotion across multiple social media channels. Only after all of that was the project complete. Without AI, this would have taken far longer, but without a human driving it, the result could never have existed. Working with AI isn't instant magic. It's a human-led creative process of setting direction, judging, and refining. A skill-sharing culture is starting to spread. In this live session, we installed and demoed FinViz Collector, which automatically collects stock data, and Manager Mirror, a Grow model-based coaching tool. FinViz Collector was shared by someone based in Korea, and Manager Mirror by someone in the US. Skills like these can be created even by non-developers. And indeed, neither of the 2 contributors are developers. Back in March, I wrote a Substack post titled, "How is app development changing in the AI era?" In it, I described a shift from an era where only experts built apps for everyone to one where anyone can build and customize tools for themselves. Witnessing this happen in real time is remarkable. The AI era application development and sharing ecosystem is taking shape right now. There was an incident that shows just how aggressively Chinese AI companies are reaching out to global developers. An Alibaba Cloud account manager reached out to me directly, and not just with an email, they requested a direct phone call. What actually happened was, I had signed up for Alibaba Cloud to use the Qwen 3 TTS API during our 10th live session, and the very next day, my account manager called me. When I checked the phone number in the email, it wasn't a US number, it was a Chinese phone number. They asked what I was using it for and what I needed, then followed up with this email containing helpful information. It's a vivid snapshot of just how proactively Chinese AI companies are approaching global developers.
This week I attended the W Plus Group Her Story event. The W Plus Group is a women's community within Changbal, an association of Korean IT engineers in the Seattle area. 3 speakers shared their experiences building AI businesses, and remarkably none of them are professional developers, yet all have built apps and launched AI ventures. They work at major Seattle tech companies and learned vibe coding as a side hustle to build apps, either achieving monetization or using them in very practical ways in daily life. The most impressive story was from Hyuna Jung. She built Saju AI, an AI-powered fortune reading service, and achieved roughly $3.5 million in revenue in just 6 months. The secret to her success was a single formula, combining deep domain expertise with AI tools. This is the startup formula for the AI era.
The 4th week of the CMDS and Gobi cohort, one on May 22nd, featured a lecture on LLM Wiki. Gu Johan introduced his Obsidian-optimized version of the LLM Wiki concept proposed by Andrei Karpathy, building on his own domain expertise. The concept is simple. An LLM reads raw source material and automatically breaks it down into wiki cards and entity cards to build a knowledge base. It's easier to update in real time than RAG, and knowledge is organized into an instantly searchable format. A wide range of additional information and resources were also shared during the session. The links and resources on the right are from that lecture. If you join the live sessions, you can get access to the Google Slides with all of this material.
Throughout this week, working with AI boosted my efficiency. But there was one more ingredient that made it possible, beyond AI itself. That ingredient is my recorded knowledge. Live broadcast scripts, brain dumps of spontaneous ideas, transcripts of recorded seminar content. These are the kinds of data I am talking about. These records become the context that gets passed to AI, and it's that context that allows AI to generate meaningful output. I don't simply listen to lectures and let them fade away. Knowledge I actively capture, through recordings, transcriptions, clippings, and analysis, becomes rich, usable data. In contrast, passive recall based on memory fades over time. In the AI era, your most valuable asset will be your recorded knowledge.
The main event of this broadcast, the Qwen 3 TTS Voice Clone Live Demo. Alibaba's Voice AI API operates in 2 steps. Step 1 is voice enrollment. You upload a sample audio file and receive a unique voice ID. Step 2 is synthesis. You use that voice ID to read any text you want. It was the first time I had called a live API in real time during a broadcast, a high-stakes experiment. Alibaba states that all processing is done within isolated VPC networks to ensure security and privacy. However, since you are handing over your data to use an API service, you can never be 100% certain it's fully secure. If your computer is powerful enough, you can install and run the Qwen 3 TTS model locally. That requires a PC with an NVIDIA GPU, and the recommended VRAM is at least 16 GB or even 32 GB. My computer doesn't meet those specs, so I ran this experiment using the API service to clone and use my own voice. So how did it turn out? My voice clone, the model that directly copied my voice during the live broadcast, scored 3 out of 5. The timbre was captured, but the speed and naturalness weren't quite to my liking. That was the result for voice clone, or VC. Voice design, or VD, where you craft a voice style from scratch, scored 4 out of 5. I liked how energetic and natural it sounded. However, it seems that Alibaba's policy restricts VD voices from being used with the API service outside of China. The voice you are hearing right now in this video is one I built and refined after the live broadcast. What do you think? Does it sound a lot like the voice you heard during the live session? Here are 4 things I personally observed and felt this week. First, AI-generated content still requires countless rounds of revision before it meets human standards. Instant AI is a myth. Second, seeing people around me share the FinViz skill and the Manager Mirror skill, I realized the vision I described in my Substack post, that AI-era app development is changing, is already happening in real life. Third, hearing stories from non-developer women at W Plus Her Story who built apps and achieved monetization through vibe coding was a great source of motivation to push harder myself. Fourth, The technical depth of Qwen 3 TTS combined with Alibaba's direct phone support made me genuinely impressed by the speed and passion of Chinese AI.
Your comments and reactions during the live broadcast really give me the energy to keep going. Thank you to everyone who joined and engaged with this live session. Special thanks to Apgujeong Medidu, Cyberstars 2028, and Sobei Korang for your comments and kind words. Your engagement is what powers this show. Let's keep growing together.
The next broadcast is Sunday, May 31st, 9 p.m. in Korea and 5 a.m. in Seattle. We'll share AI experiments from the week, bring you AI news from around us, and run live AI experiments together in real time. See you at AI in Action Live, number 12. Your likes and subscriptions mean the world to me. Every Sunday, let's grow together. Thank you.